So we have the band back together again after a what was it, 2 or 3 week layoff? How long were we off?
I think it was 2 weeks.
I think maybe 3. I don't know.
Well,
But I would
this would have
disagree with
made
Taylor.
3.
So
I think this
Yeah.
would have made 3. I think this
yeah,
would have made
we
the
missed the
third.
It was
Houston
just
Open
too
week.
long, way too long.
Well, we had some valid excuses. Now, Taylor, I know you all had the ice storm in Oklahoma. Have you all made it back to civilization now? Is your Wi-Fi working? What is going on? How long were you without power? All that good stuff. Oh,
So
and just sorry for people who don't know, for your first time listening, I'm your host, Lebronald Palmer. We also have T-Sack, who is about to talk.
Cusack.
And
Sorry, I thought we were.
No, because she was about to talk.
You can introduce us now.
Yes, because she was about to talk. Because she was about to talk. And JJ Wood, they will introduce themselves. So go ahead, Taylor, go back. Or T-Sack. Let us know, how did that ice storm go?
It was so crazy. I feel like it kind of just snuck up on us. We lost 4 huge trees, snapped in half, broken, took at least, a week to clean up. And we were out of power for at least 10 days. Fortunate enough,
crazy.
I had a generator. It only lasted about 8 days. And so it was almost kind of roughing it. And it makes you pretty thankful for power and what you have and stuff that you kind of take for granted every single day that you really don't think about until you don't have it. But it's kind of crazy driving down 19th Street in Moore, Oklahoma, and there's no trees. Everything is gone, and there's trees just lined up on the side of the road, just waiting for the trash to come and pick them up. It's kind of crazy. And I think on the news the other day, they said it was going to take up to 3 months to literally clean up everything.
Wow.
Well, how big? Because I know we had some ice storms when I lived in Oklahoma, but hey, was it one of their bigger ice storms? I'm guessing. Like, was it the biggest in history or last 20 years, or how big was it?
I think it's so far. At least in the last 5 years. I remember when I was in high school, we had a pretty big ice storm, but that was worse than this, and this seemed terrible.
The roads get terrible. That's what I remember, were the roads and the power. I do remember the power. It's crazy because people, when I lived in Ohio, it's just powdered snow, and then you don't realize, like, Oklahoma, it doesn't get as cold as Michigan and Ohio, but it's like worse because it's just thin ice everywhere.
Right.
And then
Black
that
ice,
wind
and
that
then it
just
snows.
hits you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the weird thing about Oklahoma gets every part of the weather that you can get in the country. The only thing that Oklahoma doesn't. They will. They'll get the outer bands that come up from the Gulf. True. They always do. So Oklahoma is the only state that I've ever been in, and I think I've lived in 7 states. It is the only state that I've lived in that in one day it can start like 30 degrees, end up being like a rain or a snowstorm, and then by the end of the day, it'll be like 75 degrees. Like literally, like
it'll change 60 degrees within 12 hours.
Yes,
You have to have multiple outfits in your vehicle because you never know what you're going to be walking into. You have to be prepared.
It's the only place that's been that way.
Do you think anyone would live in Oklahoma if there wasn't OU football?
I would say so. I mean, I was born here. I don't want to leave. I love it. It's home.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I mean, let's be honest.
Do you live in Moore? You live in Moore?
I do.
They live in Moore.
You live next to that. What road is it where that same tornado hits?
19th Street.
19th Street.
So you're one of the stupid people that keep moving back. Everyone's like, who are these people that keep moving back to that same street, keeps getting wiped out?
I lived off of 19th and Sooner also, so I wasn't too far from that also.
Oh, great. Great affiliation here.
Real estate is cheap there. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
You take advantage. Well, this week, of course, JJ, what have you been up to before we get into our Masters talk? We're jumping right into it. How's your last couple weeks been?
It's actually, you talk about power. I totally forgot. We had a power outage for 6 days.
Oh, you did tell me that. Yes.
Oh, it screwed up everything. So I don't know what happens I had surge protectors because I have those 2 simulators, a gaming computer and then a laptop gaming computer. But like both of them, like they would work 1 second, then they would just shut off. So I had IT guy come and he runs every test and it's running perfectly. Now it's just perfect. And then today I have someone come for the laptop and I couldn't even turn it on yesterday. It turns on, it's fast. We turn on the golf court. playing golf. I'm like, I swear on my life, these were not working. But yeah, so I made a little home on the driving range. I had it, buckets of training aids
home
for
on the
a
range.
week. Yeah, and I have a generator as well, but TrackMan would have drained your generator in like 3 hours.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that doesn't even make
It
any
is
sense.
the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only get through like 2 combines, and then I need to recharge my generator. But it's one of those like lunch bell ones.
Yeah. So while you were doing that, I've been building out a studio. So for the podcast and the podcast network that we've been working on, we bought a space in downtown Houston in the 2016 main building. So we bought like a 3-office suite in the first floor, but it's taking a lot to finish the build out. Like, when it was an old grocery store that was in there before us.
Oh, wow.
So that must be kind of big.
It is big. It's just under 1,000 square feet. So it's a good size, real good rooms, 3 different, areas that we can do recording in. But the problem with that is because it was a grocery store, it was set up like a grocery store. So there was like a place for like a deep freezer. There's like they had the power in like weird spaces. So we're doing all the stuff that we need to do now to make it a functional recording studio, but it's going well. We've been there for about 3 weeks now and close to being able to do stuff. We're already doing photo shoots, but no recording there so far. So it's been going well.
So it sounds like Taylor needs to come down
exactly
a weekend, a month.
Yes.
We need to get it together.
We need to get it together, and then we could also do some stuff at Northgate. So I think now we've got 2 good places where we can get a good amount of content done. And then JJ, there's space for a bay over there too. When you get a chance to check it out, you'll see. I think I've carved out a space too, just in case. We've got some room. So
you don't need much space. Well, you're kind of tall. You might need. How tall are your ceilings?
12 feet.
That's
12
there you
perfect.
go.
Yep, 12 feet. So we're good. Yep. So I hopefully when we all get a chance to get back together, although COVID cases now are in the 100,000s per day.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous. But let's talk about something positive. So a tradition like none other is happening not in April, May timeframe like it usually is. It's happening now in November. And the most 2020 thing I thought that was going to happen, it was a rain delay starting the tournament. I was like, this 2020 is going to ruin the Masters. It's ruined everything else, but it didn't. And so far the tournament is going off without a hitch. So
I wish we would have spoke before they teed off, because I would have picked Tiger and he would have bashed him. And now Tiger's in like second. I don't get credit for what I was thinking.
No, you do not get credit.
But if we do our last pick where Tiger, I think, probably missed a cut, like I was going to pick Tiger. I always do. So I was going to be right.
Surprisingly, I was going to agree with you. I was going to pick him as well. Yeah.
I'm not picking Tiger. No.
Okay, so we all agree. We're all honest people here.
Back to back.
Bill wouldn't have picked him.
I'm picking John Rahm. That's who I picked, especially after I saw that hole in one.
I just picked Tiger when I talked to you, but I really think he's going to play well. I don't know. He's kind of struggled. But for some reason, when the Augusta comes around, do you remember it was when he only played a few events, but he still finished like 4th at the Masters. And
he could have won.
And it's
he had that penalty.
He's shooting 80 at the Phoenix Open, and then, as the chipping yips, he shows up at Augusta and almost wins. It's weird. Yeah.
So here's my question then. Have either of you been to Augusta? Have either of you been?
Nope.
I was supposed to go this year.
Oh, so this was your year. Yeah. Okay. So
do you think any fans in at all?
They've got fans. They have fans. It's a small
like
group.
Houston Open.
Yes, it's like a small group, just like Houston Open. It's probably
I didn't know that. I thought,
but it's only probably like 200 people. It's not a lot. It's very sparse.
Smaller. I think Houston was 2,500.
Yeah, it's very.
How about Carlos Ortiz? I never realized how far he hit it. He's playing with Sam Burns and Jason Day. They both bomb it. And I watched the last 3 holes, and he was he hit last into the greens on all 3 holes. I was like, how is this little?
I mean, you got to think about it. He came off of his confidence. For those of you who don't know, Carlos Ortiz won his the Houston Open, and then and that got him into the Masters. So he probably just is building off of that confidence that he had winning here in Houston a week ago.
How did
He's
he
so
do
high
today?
on life right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I haven't seen the score today, but just like Taylor said, he probably is. I mean, could you imagine getting
Yeah,
into
I'm just gonna say, could you
just
imagine?
won the
So
Houston
they
Open.
wire you. So Monday morning he gets a wire for like 1.8 million,
Yes.
and he's in Augusta National. Like, how's that fair?
And how old is he?
How did we end up where we are, and he gets to do that?
Yeah, exactly. We failed at
you
life at
imagine
some
how
point.
awesome that'd be?
I think Taylor, I want to say he's like 25-ish. He's around the guys like Abe Answer, or I call him Abe, Abraham Answer.
He's getting that's like upper 20s, like Jordan Spieth-ish.
Nah,
like
Carlos
20.
isn't that age. Carlos is probably 2-3 years out of college. Yeah, he's not as old as those guys. He's definitely.
Well, I know he
not
had Korn Ferry Tour, then he went PGA Tour, then he went back Korn Ferry Tour. Now he's back PGA. So he's at least like 26. He played in North Texas. Yep. He went to UNT. So. I want to know how they weren't a better team with that Sebastian guy. He's won on tour.
Well,
right?
It's coaching. It's coaching, though. That's all it is.
Well, and the college game is so different than the professional game too. It's like you fly in on Saturday night, you play practice on Sunday, you got to play walk 36. It's like a survival test. Like, it's just, you can't get comfortable, you know. And there's a lot of great college players never made it, and then there's so college players that are stars. So it's kind of crazy. And then there's Dustin Johnson, who is a star of both, but.
Dustin Johnson will get beat up by Brooks Koepka, but we're not going to get into that like we always do. So here's a question. I want to go around the table, and Taylor, I'll start with you. Since it's Masters week, and that's if you're a golfer or a golf enthusiast, you probably have one of 4 places that are kind of like a dream place that you can go play. What would be maybe a dream foursome that you would bring with you to Augusta National, outside of course JJ and I, because I mean we're dreamy. Yeah, we'd be a great time. But what would be a dream foursome? JJ, same question for you, and then same question for me also. So whoever wants to get us started, but Taylor, ladies first. We will punt it to you first if you've got it.
Okay, so do they have to be alive, or is it?
No.
Okay. Absolutely. Arnold Palmer.
Okay.
Tiger Woods.
Okay.
And then let's see. Jack Nicklaus.
Okay, so you're going with all the
greats
of the greats.
I'm cherry picking everything. You said my dream. I'm gonna make it the best.
We're giving you. So your foursome is you, Tiger, Jack, Arnie.
Absolutely.
That's your group. Okay, JJ, who you got?
So the only person I really desire to play with is Tiger. Then probably my dad, and probably he doesn't like it when I call him Grandpa, but Pop. So because he likes to drink beer, and he acts like he's 25. He's the youngest personality out of all of us.
JJ's in touch with his feelings. He just kind of touched my heart a little bit.
Well, I think with Tiger, they're more like, I mean, believe it or not, they're more like, I know I'm pretty good with coming up with things on the fly to say, you know, but they would have better questions asked Tiger that would kind of really get to him. So I would need them there to kind of pick a Tiger. Yeah, my dad, my grandpa, and Tiger.
Okay, so that's.
But what I'd really want to do is, because I want Rory too. Like Rory's close, but Tiger's Tiger. So I might have to kick like my grandpa.
There went the heart.
Your grandpa.
Yeah. Well, what are you supposed to do? Your dad or your grandpa? Which one? I'd probably kick my dad out.
Your dad. You should kick your dad out. Yeah, you should kick your dad.
My grandpa. He knows my grandpa is a better time. So Rory, Tiger, my grandpa.
So for me, I would probably definitely. I mean, Tiger looks like it's unanimous amongst us. I would also want to play, which this is probably weird because I don't necessarily like his golf game as much, but I would want to play with Phil just because I know he's going to be a good time. He's going to gamble,
just gonna be cheesy, and say I hit it far, and
then I'll probably bring my dad also. But I want to see the interaction between Tiger and Phil in a setting that's not on TV.
Yeah.
Because I think from what I've seen, most of these guys who are at that level, all of their interactions are contrived. I don't even know if it's real. You know, like it can't be real.
Yeah, I feel like Tiger and Phil, I feel like genuinely disliked each other.
Agreed.
Like when they're younger, and I feel like they genuinely like they make cuts at each other, but it's like a a joke. Like,
yeah,
they're pretty like they know it's a joke because when we were young we didn't like each other, but they still say like I think Tiger said something about there's some press conference yesterday, and he's like I can't remember, but he's like. Yeah, I mean, I like playing with Phil because I like hitting it past him or something like that. He's like, I still drive him, like, but because Phil's all about distance, but Tiger's like, I still drive him. So,
but what's the reason that they don't like each other other than
they're
they
both
compete against each other?
They're both Southern California kids, and
competition.
And Phil never got to number one in the world. In
Never.
like any other era besides Jack, he would have been number one in the world in his prime. He's won 44 events. He's won 5 majors, and he's always played second fiddle to Tiger. And Tiger was younger and just better. Like, so he didn't. I bet he just didn't feel like he got his glory. That he never got to number one. Like, and I think just when you're that good, and they're both pretty outgoing personalities.
Definitely,
they're both confident and I'm sure cocky. I'm sure they kind of bashed, and Phil wanted to be older and better, and he just wasn't. He was older.
I'd agree. So here's a quick rundown of the matchups this week. Now, everyone, you're going to hear that we're recording on Thursday, so I've avoided watching as much of the golf today as I wanted to because I did want to see if my predictions would hold true. So I do know Tiger's score, but I don't know the leaderboard right now. So I will give you all.
Casey 7 under, 3-shot lead. Last night looked
don't ruin it.
I don't know besides Tiger and that. That's all I know.
Okay, so matchups. I want to see what you all would think, and I will tell you what I picked. This is extreme gambling now when you get to the majors, because at this point you're really playing for dollars. Just to give you all some ideas. So
Rion, you just belong in Vegas.
I do. We should be in Vegas right now.
Are the casinos open?
They are, but some of them shut down
not the same.
On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're open like Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So, okay. First one, Tiger versus Rory matchup. Who do you think I picked?
I think you picked Tiger.
Rory.
JJ. I picked Tiger. So I did pick Tiger.
Oh.
And right now I am winning that one. Because Tiger's 4 under, Rory is even. Okay. Next one, Bryson or Brooks. Who do you think I picked?
Ooh.
Bryson.
Okay.
You should go opposite of me.
Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna go opposite.
I definitely picked Bulk DeChambeau, and I was nervous because he made like a 7 on his first hole or something crazy. So I did see that.
I feel like this course should set up perfect because you don't have to hit in the fairway at all.
But
compared to the other majors,
he made a 7 somehow, like his first hole.
Maybe he took his creatine too late and he's a little jittery on the first tee. He didn't plan it correctly.
I mean, you're talking like he's going to Taylor's Orange Theory fitness gym. I mean, he's working out.
He's taking some creatine or something.
Okay, next one. John Rahm or Justin Thomas?
Justin Thomas. What?
Okay, of course I picked Rahm. Remember, I think Rahm's
He already said it.
I think Rahm's gonna win.
Come on, you gotta pay attention here.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I'm leading now 2-1, right?
Yes, 2-1. You are leading. Morikawa or Wolf?
Morikawa.
I picked Morikawa. Y'all know. But Wolf is leading right now. Wolf is leading this one, so I'm mad about that.
What are they at?
Wolf is at 4 under. Morikawa's even through 10. So he's only played 10 holes though.
Oh, so Wolf's one of those at 4 under.
Yeah, one of those at 4. All right, Dustin Johnson or Patrick Reed?
Dustin Johnson.
I want Dustin Johnson, but you chose Reed.
I know, I chose Dustin Johnson.
Dang it.
So right now it's tied. It's tied now. That makes it 2-2 because y'all both have Morikawa. All right, Patrick Cantlay or Xander Schauffele?
Xander Schauffele.
Patrick Cantlay.
I picked Cantlay. Yes! and he's losing now because Schauffele is in.
Schauffele could be a good pick this week.
He's solo second at 5 under right now.
Yeah.
So, and then lastly, Jordan Spieth versus Mickelson.
Oh, gosh, they're battling for that last place spot. Jordan Spieth.
Taylor said Mickelson. You said Spieth. It was Spieth. And he's
plus
4-2.
And he's plus 2 right now. So JJ wins. And then, of course, I picked John Rahm. as my winner this week. So I need John Rahm to keep it together. After I saw that hole in one, I just felt like something's positive is going to happen to him.
Yeah,
this week.
No, someone asked me in the pro shop yesterday who I got, and I said John Rahm. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I like Xander.
Taylor, do you have a pick this week? Are you going with Tiger?
Yeah, I'm hoping for back to back.
Dude, if he gets back, that's gonna be.
That'd be huge.
Don't know. I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah, so if he wins,
everything he does nowadays is amazing.
His summer was so terrible.
If he
was
wins,
bad.
But it's Augusta, just like it was better than when he had the chipping yips and he still almost won.
But still, like you can't turn around from. I mean, he was shooting 80s in the summer. 80s.
Dude, it's the spirit of Augusta and Tiger. Like he just enters. And he just feels like he's young again, I guess.
It just makes you so happy, and it makes me calm and quiet, and I just
it makes me want to take a nap.
No.
The music playing and like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Like make it pitch dark black.
No,
get on the couch.
No,
you
curl up on the couch and you get some popcorn and you watch it and you're just in awe.
You have to have it dark though.
JJ's trying to masters and chill, like Netflix and chill. We're not doing that.
What
are you doing?
Well, then you wake up and you see Phil getting the airborne like an inch off the ground. They win. Then it's like, oh, that was cool. But you had your nap and everything.
Look, anything we wanted to get back in the
Who doesn't take a nap during the Masters at some point?
I don't. The Masters I watch. I'll take a nap during the regular PGA events. You can take a nap
during regular golf.
Yeah, but not the Masters. I watch that.
I don't discriminate against the Masters. I do it for all golf tournaments. I like the Masters the best, so it's more soothing.
You clearly need to be drinking more of that energy drink that you had that one day. What was it called?
Find
Celsius?
them anywhere.
It was Amp. Yeah, you did.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
I can't remember where. Oh, I got it at Walmart. That's where. Because I can't find them now.
I wonder. They probably took it off the shelf because you're not allowed to drink it.
Yeah, because
they realized it was bad for you.
It probably has a COVID interaction also. So people who drink that and get COVID, their chances
What doesn't have COVID these days?
So look, we wanted to get an episode in. We're back in the fold. We appreciate anyone who has.
Wait! I got one last question.
Yeah,
because I talked to my mom today for the first time since the election.
Okay.
Not to get into politics, but I've tuned out. Like it was like a soap opera last week, right? So
last week was the longest Tuesday of everyone's life.
Yeah,
collectively.
So it was like a soap opera. I didn't really care who won, but it was just entertaining watching both. It go back and forth, whatever. But do you think that what chance do you think that because Trump's fighting it, right? That he actually proves there was, corruption?
0.
What percentage?
0.
I gave it 5%.
0. Because what'll happen to even stay out of politics, but I'm a political junkie, so I kind of follow how election results are counted and then also how they're certified. And the majority of the states.
Any truth to what?
No, the majority of states have already. Well, I think there's always some form of election fraud. I just think it's impossible when you have.
It could go both ways, though.
Yes, I think when you have 150 million people voting, I can promise you. Let's say, for example, a good example could be. Someone's spouse just recently died. They're not coming to check to see if that spouse really signed that ballot. Things like that do happen, not on the scale of 150 million people. So I think now that the states have started certifying election results, it's, we'll just
because they have none 20th. Of the states have turned in, right?
No. So like half of them have already certified their results, like half. Okay. Yeah. So there's a few that'll be contested, but to not make this political, I would say that what would probably be best just for the country, because there is a lot of polarization. What I would just be comfortable with people doing is understanding that politics isn't a team sport. It's not Cowboys versus 49ers. At some point, all of us have to determine that we're going to work together in some form. It's the
Crips versus the Bloods.
We're close to that. Yeah, it is close to that. Yes, it is close to a gang fight, and it shouldn't be. So whatever rhetoric that you hear, I encourage you to verify if it's true or not, and then form your own opinion.
Fox and then CBS.
Go everywhere.
Most neutral.
Yeah, go everywhere. You can't. And I would encourage you not even to watch CNN, Fox, MSNBC, any of those, because those are opinion news shows. I encourage you to just go look at actual. University of Florida has a great tool. It's called Election Hub. You can go look at every state, every vote, everyone who is eligible to vote and how they voted. So I encourage you to do that if you're
really
really interested in knowing.
Did you check and make sure your vote stated?
My vote counted.
Where you voted?
Yes, okay, my vote counted in Rochelle.
God bless
Texas.
America.
And that has been episode 30. And you even got a little politics at the end of it. See how versatile we are?
You want a great tip if you after the Masters is over, watch on Netflix 60 Days In. It's 6 people volunteer to go into prison and figure out corruption. But they're just, you got to watch it. I watched
Breon and I's face at the
60
same
days
time.
in. Could you imagine sitting in prison? And it's in the border town in Arizona, and they got the cartel guy. Oh, it's good.
No, why would I do that?
God bless America. You got to learn about all sides of it.
JJ.
Oh, you're volunteering, JJ. Yeah, JJ, you can go to prison for us. Go to McAllen, Texas, just right there on the border, or go to El Paso, right there on the border where Juarez is right across the way. Let's get you in prison for 60 days. Let's get you in prison and see what happens.
That's why I have so much respect for these people.
Don't drop the soap.
No, I'd be the first one.
Look, that's been episode 33.
Unless Breon was there, they'd begin to get him first. He's cuter.
No, that's it. That's the Golf Performance Group podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe on Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast. Give us 5 stars. That helps people find the podcast. Follow Taylor Cusack or TSAC on Instagram at Taylor Cusack. Follow JJ at JJ Wood Golf or Golf Performance Group. And follow me at Lebronald Palmer. And that's been episode 33. We're out.